Hello there. Welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We're going to figure out what we're going to do for group hangouts starting August 1st. Figure something out or not do it. But anyway, this is a solo hangout. This is a taste challenge. A taste challenge. And what are we looking at? Let's go over here and get this started. See if they got any comments. We have Bellows Club Whiskey. I don't think this is made anymore. There's still Bellows, but not the Club Whiskey. I could be wrong because some of these companies don't show you all the brands they make. But this was made by Beam, the Beam company. You know, they make Jim Beam. This is a 1994 bottle, 25 years old. I bought it at International Market in Metairie, Louisiana on Barron Street for $8.99 for this liter bottle. So I didn't know what to expect. When I first tried it, I liked it. Then the more I sipped on it, the less I liked it. It just, I was thinking, what was Beam trying to do? It's like too spicy with rye, but like in the wrong way. It's hard to describe. It's like they took old Overholt and they blended it with bad whiskey or something. I don't know what it is, but I didn't like it, okay? I did not like it. I do not like it. And I don't think it's going to be much of a challenge because I think as soon as I smell it, I'm going to say, oh, that's the Bellows Club Whiskey. Now, the competition is this $375. I only bought a 375 milliliter. They have a real nice, fancy 750 that you can buy for like $24, which I'm not paying that much. Triple Crown North American blended whiskey. You notice it's very light in the bottle. I think maybe you can see that. Dawn is breaking, busting loose. This might have coloring at it, but I get the impression that it doesn't because of the extreme light color. Now that was Triple Crown was introduced in 2013 by McCormick Distilling of Weston, Missouri. These are both blended at an 80-20 ratio, okay? 80% grain neutral spirits, 20% straight whiskey of some sort. And the age, straight whiskeys in this product are 4 years or more old. I think Triple Crown is 2-year aged. So very minimal. Yep. 2-year aged. Oh boy. In a used barrel, I'm sure. Now, I don't think the grain neutral spirits aged. In some countries like Canada, that has to be aged 3 years. Well, if you take grain neutral spirit and you age it in a charred, even if it's used, a charred wood barrel for 3 years, then it's no longer grain neutral spirits. It's not going to be neutral. It's going to pick up oak, char, then it'll be whiskey, you know, blended whiskey. All right, so, but here in the United States, I think they're taking age, 2-year age straight bourbon. I know it's bourbon. They say on the website, straight bourbon whiskey. And they're blending it together with grain neutral spirits, grain alcohol made from corn invariably, almost certainly. And then they're bottling it. That's how that works in the USA. Canada, Ireland, Scotland, all of it has to be barreled for 3 years. Well, that's their law. That ain't ours. And in Canada, the Dominion of Canada, the Irish Republic, and the Kingdom of Scotland, they can add coloring to their whiskey. And can American blended whiskey have coloring added? Yes, it can. Does it have to have coloring added? No. And perhaps it does not. These might, I don't know. I know that the Triple Crown has flavoring. They can have flavoring added, like up to 2% blending sherry and stuff like that. That's a wine. Sherry is a wine. So you say, well, that's not really pure whiskey. No. No, it isn't. But it's allowed to be called whiskey because that's the law. That's the law. But what else? What else? Oh, yeah, the Triple Crown, they say on the website, not the bottle, but the bottle, but the website says they use oak extract. You say, what the? I know, that's what I said when I saw that. What the? Because probably it's such an old barrel that they're using because they're doing it cheap that it's not picking up enough oak for what they want to present. So they're adding oak extract. You say, boy, that's a concocted product. Yeah. Oh, well, I got it for $4 for the bottle. I think it was $3.99, actually. My friend David got his in River Ridge. I got mine in Marrero. He got his in River Ridge for $4 even. So I paid a penny less, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am. No. So $3.99, I got mine $3.99, and his was $4. $3.99 and $4. Now, that's an unusually low price because when you go, I've never seen it on the East Bank, but I've been to grocery stores on the West Bank, and on the shelf in that nice bottle, I say $24. Oh no, I don't think so. But that's the price because they're selling it like it's a premier blended whiskey. This is like really good blended whiskey. You can go to Walmart and get premium blended whiskey, American blended whiskey, TX Texas, whatever that is. Blended whiskey is 80-20 or 75-25, whatever. But my nose is itchy. That's like $24 or 8, 20, 21, 22. It's something like that. I said, oh no, pretty bottle, fancy labels, got a cork. Then there's that Rebecca Creek. So you can get expensive blended whiskey. You say, but is it good? I don't know. I'm not paying for it. I only bought this because I got it for $3.99. I don't know why they had it so cheap. Maybe some distributor or supplier said, look, hey, Louisiana, we got all this excess we can't get rid of. You can see it's an older label. If you look on the website now, they've got an updated label. This is older. So that right there makes me think that they got it on a deal. A lot of places around here get deals. And they're like juiced into that. And they'll call them, Elios, you want this? Yeah, we'll take it. Hey, Matherns, you want this Rebel Yell Cherry liqueur? We can't get rid of it. Oh, we'll take it. What's the price? Oh, yeah. Okay, so they get a real deep discount. You can't blame them. And they can flip it, make a few dollars. So that's how it works. Some states you can't do that. Like, I think somebody's telling me in Ohio, it's illegal. It's illegal to sell it for an unusually low price or something, some kind of highly regulated thing. Yeah, I think in Louisiana, apparently you can't sell liquor less than cost. But there's always like exceptions to that law, like unless it's a closeout or it's a sale, or it could be something. The distributor determined that the product would not adequately sell within a reasonable amount of time. I don't know, something like that. And then they have to check with the Louisiana Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Bureau, and they say, sure, you could do that. They're always going to approve it. You know what I mean? Because people take care of people and things move along and everything works out. Okay. And I benefit because I get the stuff cheap, so I don't even care. I was almost tempted to buy that Rebel Yell Cherry, but I was like, no, first of all, I don't like cherry liqueurs, even though I got a whole liter of one. Secondly, I've never even had regular Rebel Yell. Why would I buy the cherry? So I passed. Can't buy it all. but I've been buying so many canned. Now they got the canned cocktails made with vodka, made with rum. Oh, yes, true. And not those old, you know, those Jim Beam rum and Coke that's like 4.5% alcohol type things. Oh, no, no. They're getting serious now, man. They got them like 12% alcohol, 10%. They're like approaching real cocktail strength, you see. So I said I might have to get in on this opportunity. Not because I really drink that. I never drank cocktails, just to see, you know, curiosity. This thing here smells like Bellows. Bellows Company was founded in 1830. Do you know that company was founded in 1830? William Bellows. I don't think they ever produced any kind of liquor or wine. In other words, they didn't own any distilleries. They just procured it. They handled brands. You say, oh, you mean like Pabst? Pabst does have their own little mini brewery now, Showcase Brewery up there in Milwaukee. But their last actual functioning big brewery was in San Antonio, Texas, and that was shut down in 2001. I think it was Pearl Brewing, but it was shut down. And that was a big story. I remember when that happened, people in San Antonio say, hey, what's going on? J&B, Just Ernie and Brooks. You've seen J&B Scotch. That's another company. I don't think they ever produced their own liquor ever or wine. They just broker it. That's what, if you look at the old Bellows magazine ads, it said wine brokers, a middleman or something like that. So you say, what is J&B Scotch? So they make that. I don't think they make it. They designed it. You know what I'm saying? They control the brand. They went to I'm sure, a trusted distilling company in Scotland and said, we want this made according to these guidelines. Can you do it? They say, you know, we can do it. That's why you came to us. Sure. So they do it. Same thing with beer. Pabst goes to Miller and says, here's what we want. And Miller says, we will do it to perfection. Or City Brewing will do it also for them. This one smells very spicy in the nose. It's unusual. It's got to be Bellows, but let's go on and challenge it. I don't have to worry about the aroma. I mean, the color, because they're very similar. Well, maybe this is the Bellows, honestly, because this is a little more off-putting. It's like spicy in the nose, and it makes you jump back and say, whoa, what happened? Did it spoil? I don't think whiskey spoils. Although I've seen some companies say keep it out of the light. So, but I don't know. I don't think. But you never know with a place like International Market. They could have had it sitting outside in Avondale for 10 years, something. I don't know. It's just like peppery nose with some kind of like a wax component. I don't know what that is. Okay, so initially on aroma, I think this must be the Triple Crown because it's a little milder, but I'm not saying either one smells great. What did I score Triple Crown anyway when I did the solo review? A B-, 80? Well, that's fair, 80. Especially when you pay $3.99, $7.98 for $7.50. Yeah, 80, fine. $21, $22, $23 a bottle? No, that's a total catastrophe. Because I can find early times on sale for $8.99, early times straight whiskey. And that's not even a B. That's into the A range, I think. That's like actually really good, maybe a 90. But that's a bourbon in every sense of the word except for the technical sense, the legal sense. It's not a bourbon by the letter of the law, early times. But it's a bourbon by the spirit of the law. You know what I'm saying? It is a bourbon, but not in a technical sense. You understand what I mean? These things are not a bourbon in any sense of the word, except that they're using 20% straight bourbon, and they will have a bourbon-like flavor. Now, someone from Germany or Ireland or England might taste it and say, oh, that's bourbon. And in fact, their laws are different, you see. So if you go to those countries, some of this stuff here that I'm drinking will be sold as bourbon. You say, no, yes. It won't be called it here in America. It won't be called that. You look at the labels over there, it'll say bourbon. And I say, oh, no. Or like they pronounce it. They have a strange way of pronouncing it, bourbon. I saw some videos, people in Wales and in also England say, oh, this beer smells like bourbon. I said, bourbon. It's almost like they took the R out the word. No, it's bourbon. Oh, well, I have to listen to French people say that word, right? Because it's a French term from the royal family of France and today Spain. King Philippe de Bourbon. Yeah, Bourbon. Philippe de Bourbon. We have Bourbon Street in New Orleans. All right. That tastes sugary, candy corn, little caramel, light caramel. Well, it's just the flavor generally associated with whiskey. It's not bad. It's not good, really. It's just kind of like serviceable. It's there. It's fine. It's just something to have. It's like Jim Beam's 8-star, Beam's 8-star. It's fine. If you're not one of these people want to think about it, you say, I don't buy bourbon, sit there and reflect and, you know, and swish it around and say, oh yeah, this is so complex. You say, I'm just watching the football game, man. I'm trying to get lit up a little bit. I'm tired. I had a bad day at work. Well, you say, that's why I buy Beam's 8-star, man. You need to stop being so frou-frou about it. Oh, I appreciate that approach. And I'm not saying everybody takes that approach. You know, this deep speculative tasting and thinking on the, I'm always saying, don't drink it, think it. You know, think the product. We're hobbyists and all this. But most people, they're not that way. It's got to be the Bellows Club Whiskey because it's so, there's like a water component. It's almost like it didn't blend quite right. Like you could taste the water. Then you might say, yeah, but that's Jim Beam Kentucky limestone water. Yes. The water, it tastes good in it. But there's something, I don't know. Maybe it's a more developed product. Maybe I'm not there and it's there. Like you say, no, you're just not into the Beam rye products and you're not able to handle it. It's a little more advanced than you are. And a person that drank Kentucky rye whiskey would know and you don't. And so you need to get a grip on it, whatnot. Okay, that could be true. So I'm not there yet. That's right, because it's not tasting too good. Oh man, woo! And Walmart has an old overhaul. Oh yeah, see, it's like there's just like jagged middle part. It's like an unusual sweetness. It's almost like it's turned or it went bad. I don't think whiskey can go rancid, but somebody told me rum can go rancid. Like I was drinking that Ron Rico, it tastes so bad. And somebody said, you know, it can go rancid. I said, it didn't make me sick, but oh, how could you ever confuse it with something else? Answer, you can't. Would I ever confuse this with something else? Heck no, unless it was another bottle of Bellows Club Whiskey. There's a restaurant I was in, Chinese King, and they had it on the shelf. I said, oh, look at that. How quaint. They got a bottle just like I do of Bellows Club Whiskey, a liter. Well, you know, back in the 1990s, it was probably just a standard bar whiskey that companies would buy from Beam, well, the distributor who handled the Beam, and they would make mixed drinks. So if you went to a Chinese restaurant, and I guess people go to Chinese restaurants and get mixed drinks, they always have it on the menu. I never dreamed of doing that. But maybe at night people do that when they get I don't know. I don't understand Chinese restaurant eating culture. I do go there to those places. But they must have mixed drinks because you always see them having a bar and stuff. Okay. I know people will get beer, like Qingdao or usually Bud Light. I had somebody tell me, you go to those other countries, they drink real good beer, not Bud Light. Actually, I've been to those other countries like Mexico, and I see Bud Light everywhere. And I've had Mexican people tell me, go to Mexico, everybody's drinking Bud Light. Don't let them tell you anything else. And I had people tell me, Mexicans don't drink Corona Extra. I said, really? Because every time I'm in a racetrack, I see people coming in there. They look, you say, don't say that. They look, well, I can only go by what Mexican and they're buying it. You say, no, they're Guatemalan. Okay, I didn't know that. I don't stop and ask them, excuse me, what country are you from? I'm doing an informal survey of who buys Corona Extra. I had people tell me Mexicans don't eat Taco Bell. That's a bald-faced lie, or that's a gross inaccuracy. I don't know where you've been. Where have you been to believe such a thing? All right. I think it is true that they don't really like to eat a lot of fiery hot food down there, spicy hot food. Because I personally know people from Central America, and I say, you want some hot sauce? No, I don't eat that. I guess that's what people in Texas eat, but they'll tell me, I don't want that. This is a number of people. But, like Mike told Archie, where do you get these ideas? And he said, from the school of hard knocks, buddy boy. All right. Well, this has been no taste challenge. I don't even know why. I'm just talking because there's no challenge here. I knew, but now the aroma got me a little confused at first, but there is no way, and I'm telling you, no way I'm going to confuse Bellows Club Whiskey with anything else. This is Bellows. There is no doubt about it. B. Bellows Club Whiskey. If you see it, should you buy it? Well, I wouldn't recommend it. I can't in good conscience recommend this because to me it tastes kind of bad. But if you're like me, you'll buy it anyway because you just got to try it. I'm weird like that. You might be strange like that yourself. If somebody tells you something's really bad, then you got to try it. You're like, oh no, I got to buy it. If they would have said it was kind of all right, then you might have passed on it. You say, well, I can get a lot of all right stuff. But then you're curious. I got to see if it's truly that bad. And if you buy it, you'll try it and you'll probably say, yeah, it really is that bad. I'm glad they discontinued it. Is the Bellows much better? I have a bottle of Bellows coming up next tomorrow. Yeah. The one from Luxco, because Jim Beam Suntory sold off their Bellows brand to Luxco. I guess Suntory figured they had too many blended whiskeys, so they would, and Canadian whiskeys, so they'd sell them off to other companies like Sazerac and Luxco. So that's what happened. It's an interesting bottle. This is a very interesting bottle. It's got an unusual shape. You notice that? And if you look at the glass, you probably can't see that. But if you look at the glass, it's very rumpled. Like it looks like little grits of sand from bottom to top. It's strange the way the glass was made. It doesn't look normal. It's like millions of little bumps. You don't feel it. No, don't think. No, it feels smooth, but it's like embedded in the glass. I've never seen anything like that. It's very strange. But that's from 1994. You can get some Sazerac bottles that have bubbles in them. Like the old hand blown bottles. But do you know that Buffalo Trace is such an old distillery? They might have thousands of bottles from 100 years ago in there that were hand blown, you know, manually blown, that they never used, that they never, those bottles are still good. They didn't crack or anything. And or that they washed out, you know, because some companies will take old bottles and wash them and refill them. Some places you'll see that Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola bottles that's been refilled, and it's very heavy glass. You know that glass could be 80 years old. So this is a modern bottle. There's no bubbles in it or not anything like that. But get some of those old Sazerac bottles. You will say, what? Okay, Triple Crown wins today, but that isn't saying much because it didn't really beat a good competitor. Is Bellows the worst blended whiskey I've ever bought? I'm talking about club whiskey. You wouldn't think that watching my initial solo review where I gave it a very high score. But sometimes it's required to put these in taste challenges. Then it brings out the badness. Yeah, it's probably the worst American blended whiskey I've ever purchased. I would say so, yes. What's the best one I've bought? The best American blended whiskey I've purchased. Probably be I would say it's probably either the Royale Club from Sazerac. And I was so sorry I only got that little bottle. I wish I had purchased the full 750. The Royale Club. What made it so good? I don't know. Just done right. But it's probably this Seagram 7 Crown. I guess Seagram 7 Crown is the best American blended whiskey I purchased, 75-25 blend. I'd have to have some more Royale Club to really do a proper comparison. I think McCormick was a decent runner-up. Wayne Kepley and I thought McCormick was better than normal. On the other hand, also Club 400. I guess those are honorable mentions. Club 400 from Baltimore County, Maryland. That had a high rye note also, but it was a good rye. It was like a pleasant high rye spicy note, whereas the Bellows Club whiskey is unpleasant. And I can't even explain why. It just isn't pleasant. It's not done right. It's like ragged. It's so ragged. And I know that because I'm just finishing it up, taking that last gulp. Yikes, that is so. And it's got like this mint undertaste. You say, you mean like spearmint? Yeah. And it ain't supposed to have it's not supposed to have a spearmint flavor. Golly gee, that was the sad thing. The worst news this morning is that I've got this much of it left. Look how much I've got left. Oh, what is that? 65% of the bottle? 60%? Yikes. So I've got a lot of sadness coming my way. But not for a while, because I won't come back to it for a couple of months, thank goodness. So I can just slowly suffer with it over the next few years. Oh, man, oh, man. Tomorrow is going to be regular Bellows from Luxco, the good Bellows versus Triple Crown. Well, I have a feeling the good Bellows could give it a run for its money. I think that'll be a real challenge. It could be a situation where I'm not able to tell them one from the other, which means Bellows would win since I got the bottle for $8.99. A liter bottle, $8.99. So if the only way Triple Crown can win, because I got to go by the normal price, not some weird special I got. And the normal price for a $3.75 would be about $10 or $11, which is expensive for a $3.75 American blended whiskey. So the only way it can win, the only way Triple Crown can win tomorrow is to clearly race ahead of the two-man race. It must race ahead. Because if it's close, or a tie, then it loses by default. Okay, thanks for watching this video production. If you've ever had Triple Crown or Bellows Club Whiskey, let me know. I'd be curious to find out. I did the solo posting of Triple Crown earlier this morning, and I'm off to do interesting things like a beer review. I'm not gonna say what it is because it's gonna be a week before I post it, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Thank you.